The West Virginia Mountaineers continue to search for that hot streak. Can they pull off a win against Clemson in the Charleston Classic? We'll find out. This is College Sports Insiders. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and you can find us here where we're doing your daily football and basketball conversations 7 days a week. Let's go. Welcome to the show. Welcome into College Sports Insiders as we are doing a game preview this week. Welcome in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. This is Troy. I'm with Locked On West Virginia. He's with Mountaineer Moment. Troy, how's it going, brother? Heard you had a pretty hectic weekend.
Oh, yeah. We're back, baby. Feels good to be back on College Sports Insiders. And then, obviously, those that are watching over on Mountaineer Moment, this is a collab between Mountaineer Moment, your source for West Virginia football and basketball, and then Mountaineer Paul and myself covering things a little broader over at College Sports Insiders, focusing a lot on the Big 12 as a whole and still figuring that thing out as a new show. So if you have not heard of it yet, or you're here on Mountaineer Moment, go follow, subscribe to College Sports Insiders, be in the know when we have new content coming your way for that. And excited for this episode to be able to break down the Charleston Classic preview here. West Virginia, Clemson, Georgia, Xavier, we're going to have it all. And I'm excited to get into it, man.
Yeah, I am too. Obviously, West Virginia couldn't have asked for a better start. Ross Hodge on par with one of the best starts in school history. 5-0 has a chance to be the best start in school history. If you go 6-0, so that's going to be something to monitor. Let's do a couple of bullet points up on the board for West Virginia, because obviously the way they played so far this year has been impressive. You know, we didn't really get to talk after the game the other night against Lafayette, but I assume you got to watch it, or you caught up afterwards, because I know you were at a wedding and had a lot going on. I wasn't sure what you did, but
yeah, I caught it. Yep.
You got to watch it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming you got to see the Honor Hupp experience, but what about the DJ Thomas experience as well? What's been your overall just thought process on Ross Hodge and the way he's put this team together and what it could look like after Friday?
Right. I think it's so incredibly encouraging that we have we're 5-0, but we have 5 different leading scorers in those 5 games, right? Honor Huff did what he did from 3, and yet he didn't even lead the team in scoring. DJ Thomas, freshman, had 25 points. And, we're going to talk about it here, obviously, on this episode, breaking down, the teams in Charleston this weekend. But Clemson, man, like, they have a incredibly balanced attack scoring offensively. But, West Virginia is showing that they can do it in a variety of different ways. So I'm encouraged by that. And then defensively, like, the only thing I was upset at, and I think I said this on Mountaineer Moment, was like, man, it would have been 3 straight games holding a team under 50, because we did that to Pitt. We did that to, who was right before Pitt? I guess Lehigh. And, that would have been cool to do that again. But defense has been stellar as advertised. I think Ross Hodge, and I just like the way this team's looking so far. I don't know how you feel, but this is those are the 2 things that stick out to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing that there's been a different quote-unquote hero in every game so far. Certainly have been impressed with, I think, the consistency of Honor Huff has been very consistent, as a scorer. I mean, he's in double figures in, I think, every game. May have had one where he wasn't, but I don't think so. Obviously, the OBO high game against Pitt was the most impressive individual performance this year. Yep. I think it's as impressive as the one that Huff had, because that was against Lafayette, right? So that's like, that was fish in a barrel to him. He was basically open on a lot of those possessions, and on the ones he wasn't, he's so quick and fast against those kind of players. Not that they didn't have some good individual – they had some good individual scorers, but not necessarily elite defenders.
Right.
So he was really able to get separation and get those shots off easier against them than he did Pitt, and that's why I think what Obio Ha did against Pitt was really impressive. Obviously, I think DJ Thomas has been just truly a godsend. He was probably, in line to get anywhere from 4 to 8, maybe 9 minutes a game coming into this year, and that has grown exponentially because of his performance.
Yep.
And you just wonder what Chance Moore is going to do for that. If you had to pick somebody right now, would you pick Trey Eaglestaff to take minutes from, or do you continue to play Trey at a higher level and just you think he's going to figure out at some point. I'm curious what your thoughts are there.
I think it's going to figure it out. And I think, one of the things I've been talking about lately, obviously super excited for Chance Moore to be in there, and then Jackson Fields will be in soon. And I think the man that's got to figure it out is Ross Hodge, right? And to see exactly how that's going to play out. I do think even if Eagle staff wasn't struggling as much as he is, now if he was having a spectacular season so far, it'd be hard to take minutes away from him. But Chance Moore, whatever way you want to slice it, he was going to cut into minutes for Eagle staff anyway, because he's that good and he figures to be that big of a contributor for us. So I just think for him, I'm so excited to watch him play. You and I both know, I think Chance Moore is an asset for this team.
I think personally, this is just my thoughts, to take some pressure off of Trey, and maybe this wouldn't work. You did it with Lorient last year. Could you bring Trey off the bench and see if that's a role that works for him? Excuse me. And maybe you start Chance Moore going forward if it works out well.
Yeah.
In this coming game versus Clemson.
Right.
He
worth
brings
a shot.
He brings a little more rebounding to the table. Probably brings, ironically, he brings some more scoring to the table at the moment. Mm-hmm. Definitely more dribble drive to the table.
Yep.
What blows me away about Trey is he's always been really good at creating his own shots. Mm-hmm. And he has just been – what do you think it is? It's like obviously I talked to his high school coach who he is like his father figure quite a bit.
Yeah.
And something he and I were speculating on was, well, he didn't. I was speculating on was, is it a case of the yips? Do you think that's what it is?
I don't. I said it after the scrimmage. And I don't know if I caught heat for it in the comments or what, but after the scrimmage, I just think this is so foreign to him playing alongside other guys that can really score the basketball too. And he's struggling to find a role. I think that's all that it is. And, he looks uncomfortable at times out there. He looks like, in between, should I pass it? Should I shoot it? Should I, get an ISO situation and go do something with the ball that I have in my hands right now? He looks a little confused, which I guess, yips can play a factor into that. But I just think he's so used to getting so many looks every single game, and they're coming in different ways. Even when he gets catch and shoot opportunities, it's not like he was I'd have to look what he shot from three last season, but he wasn't on or Huff numbers, right? As far as even percentage, the kid misses a lot of shots, but he took a lot more at North Dakota. So I think it's just the fact of he's just not getting as many opportunities.
But here's the thing for me. He made 6 threes in the opening secret scrimmage game. So where did that go?
I know. It's the one game we don't have a full tape on is apparently the game he went off. And I'm curious what
they actually
really
did play it. They did play the tape. I don't know if you saw this, but they played it on West Virginia, their X. They played a highlight video of the
I saw the highlight. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And he was, he was hitting them from the corner. He was hitting them from everywhere. And looked really comfortable too. I just personally feel like, yes, you're 1000% right about the situation being that he is uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. He's trying to find his way.
Yeah.
But I also think he is pressing on offense to the point to where it's making him extremely passive. And when he does get a look, he's there was one where he basically hit the bottom of the rim. He was trying to get it up. That's just
– he's overthinking too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know if that's the same play, but it was a drive on the layup against Lehigh. Yeah. Yep.
Just threw it up. It was what the heck, dude?
When you're doing that, there's something going on up here.
Yeah, you're sped up. It's I can relate to it because so I had a high school coach. I was probably one of the best 2 players on my team. Mm-hmm. And I had a high school coach. It's a long story. I don't want to get into the whole story, but he and my dad got into an actual physical altercation. And so he couldn't justify not playing me. But when he would play me, I had I couldn't do anything wrong. Nothing. I couldn't tip a ball and it go out of bounds. I remember one time I scored a bucket, got a rebound, had an assist, and then he pulled me out. But anyways, long story short, I felt so much pressure that I would do things that I missed free throws I would never miss. I would try to do certain things. I tried to do a reverse layup one time, hit the bottom of the backboard. Rushing my shot. That was the biggest thing I would do. So I think he looks like I felt at times, and I just wonder, because he's certainly not as bad as and I know there's some people who don't believe that now at this point. There's some people who think he's a bust, right?
Yeah.
Like out there already. And they won't be convinced until he proves them otherwise, which doesn't matter to him probably. But, for me, it bothers me because I know I came into the season saying I felt like he was a lot better than he's shown.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just frustrating to watch. I feel bad for him. But he's playing good on defense. He has played well on defense.
He has. Yeah, and I'm not in that camp either of like he's a bust or this or that. I have the full confidence, and I think he does too. I mean, I see him on the court celebrating, his teammates, and
he's engaged.
When he makes a nice pass, he's there, he's focused, and I fully believe he's going to have a game where you're going to go, yep. I mean, we had that experience just now with Honor Huff, right? 8 of 9 from 3, and he had made some shots. Obviously, the big game he had against Campbell, 20+ points, but that kind of game obviously is in Trace and Eaglestaff. Wasn't he? Did I hear it correctly? Like he only player in Division I that had 2 40+ games last season. I mean,
obviously it's there. Well, let's go to break really quick, man. We'll come right back and jump into this previews. See what you think about this West Virginia Clemson game, where Clemson was favored last time I looked. We'll see if this holds true between you and I right after the break. All right, back with Troy. Mountaineer Moment. Thank you so much, brother, for coming on late like this. It's a little bit late for tonight, and interesting times to be a Mountaineer fan, and just a sports fan in general. Curious what your thoughts are on this game this week, as the Charleston Classic is obviously a super interesting tournament with some good teams. Georgia averaging right around 97 points a game right now, just doing the math in my head. They've had one game under 90 points, and it was like 88 or 87 points. And they've had 110 or 20-point game. Like, they're up there. Xavier obviously stumbled twice, once against a good Iowa team, another one against the team you wouldn't think they would lose to.
Major rebuild there. Major rebuild. On to Texas.
And then you've got Clemson fresh off one of the best years in school history, where they made it to the Elite Eight. Brownell been there for 16 years. What in the heck is going on in Clemson? Obviously, they're in a rebuild as well. If you look at everything, they've got a lot of transfers.
What
are your thoughts on the Tigers? And do you think West Virginia, they're in similar situations, right? New rosters, et cetera.
Right. Yeah, I'm super excited to get the tournament going. I think it's just, again, it's sort of like it was against Pitt, although obviously different because it was the backyard brawl and it was in Morgantown, and now you get your first opportunity away from home in a neutral site game in Charleston, South Carolina. And it's any tournament, any time you have a chance to win a championship, I don't care if it's between 4 teams, like that's something to get psyched up for. That's something to get excited about. And the Mountaineers have that, this coming weekend. So Friday night they start at 6:30. And then Georgia Xavier to follow, and then Sunday championship game, which I thought was a little weird. Sunday's game is set for 1, the championship, and then the third place game is to follow after that on Sunday. So take your note on that. But West Virginia and Clemson, we'll start with that one. You mentioned it. Clemson's been to the NCAA tournament the last 2 seasons. They got beat by McNeese last year in the round of 64. 2 years ago, they made the Elite Eight. And I saw preseason-wise, they were picked to finish 7th in the ACC. 4-1 start this season. Their lone loss to Georgetown, 79-74. And the Clemson actually had the lead in that one at halftime. But the other wins, New Hampshire, Gardner-Webb, Morehead State, North Alabama, those are blowouts. And I mentioned it earlier in that introduction that we had. They've got a lot of guys, a lot of weapons, again, via the transfer portal and freshmen. So, this is a Clemson team that has a lot of guys that can fill it up. So they have 8 players averaging between 11.5 and 6.5 points a game. That's pretty crazy. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a team that's doing that. And then defensively, they pose a challenge as well because they're only allowing 58.6 points a game. To put that in perspective, West Virginia and what they've done defensively, they're at 54.8, which is up there amongst the best in the nation. But that's my little quick breakdown of Clemson defense.
Mhm.
They got a lot of size. We can go over some names to know too, but what do you think of the challenge that they pose this
Well,
coming
they're
year?
very similar to us. They're a slow-paced team. They don't really get in a hurry. They run a lot of offense. They look for the right shot, right? That's what they do. They run a lot of actions. So they're going to get the right shot, and that's just it. That's what they do. I remember the team they had a few years ago, or two. I guess it was 2 years ago now, where was it Ian Shefflin or
Mhm,
however they
mhm.
said his name, PJ Hall, Chase Hunter. Like I remember those guys
Yeah,
very well off that team because it was just I just remember how the run they went on, and I was
right.
rooting for them. They were doing it with big guys, and big guys haven't like they were the ones that were a part of this renaissance of big guys again in college basketball.
Mhm.
College basketball previously to the last few years, guard driven. Obviously, the best teams every year always won it with guards, and it still is. But the big man has actually made a comeback for real in college basketball
Yeah.
as they're trying to kind of out. It's been gone to the NBA for years now. Really, the true big man. So yeah, that's been interesting because they continue in that trend. They got 4 guys that are 6'10" or taller.
Yeah.
So, they've got the transfer from Nevada, Nick Davidson, who's averaging about 12 and 5 right now. He's a pick and pop guy. He can really kill on mismatches. He also can take a baseline for a guy that's 6'10". You also Carter Welling is another kid that is he was the WAC Defensive Player of the Year. So, another one that you really need to check out because he is that rim protector that I'm really curious to see the matchup between he and Harlan
Oh
Obioha.
yeah.
Jake Wallen is another one who's he had 14 rebounds in a game this year. He had 11 rebounds versus Northern Alabama. He's a guy that's really killing it on the boards right now. To your point earlier, they are just absolutely crushing it on that.
And Jake is close to 50% from three, and he's shooting a few of them. So
Yes, yeah, he shoots it well. That's right. RJ
mhm.
Godfrey is the one that I'm interested in because I was
Yeah.
hoping he was going to hit the portal. He is a physical freak. If you haven't ever seen him, he was on that team I think 2 years ago. But he is a dude that, is he still there?
Yeah.
Am I?
Well, and he hit the portal. Interestingly enough, he pulled an Emmett Matthews. He was at
That's right.
Georgia.
He did. Okay,
Yeah.
That's where I got my wires crossed out.
Yeah.
Um,
Crazy, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he is have you seen this guy? Like
Mhm.
he kind of reminds me of because he played football. He reminds me of like a Julius Peppers type.
Uh-huh. He's a specimen.
Yes, I mean
Who was that?
he's got muscles in his ears.
Oh, there was he reminds me, I forget the guy's name, Tennessee a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, definitely
Just
the
an
big muscular
absolute
guy.
crazy build. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember. I remember, but yeah, so they've got a bunch of different guys. I
They
mean,
do.
if you look at all these different guys that are scoring, man, for them, right? Even Dallas Thomas, another 6'6" guy, is averaging 2 points a game in limited minutes.
Mhm.
That they've got a guy that's a developmental kind of guy named Butta Johnson, which is kind of a cool name, like a butter, Butter Johnson.
There he is.
But it's pronounced Butta. 6 points a game, right? So like they've got guys. I mean,
Freshman Ace Buckner, 11
Ace
points,
Buckner.
4 boys, two
What's
and a
that?
half.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 man, 11-man rotation right now.
Yeah.
So that's extraordinarily high.
Georgia's got something similar going on. When we get to them, they got something similar too.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if you look at their tempo, they're 352nd nationally, which is last in the ACC. They're averaging like 65 possessions a game. So they walk it up, they chew clock for 25, 30 seconds, like I said, pass, 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 and they look for elite looks, which is why they're ninth in field goal percentage.
Yep.
So, 85 points a game at that, which is pretty wild. They only shoot 25 threes, or 3-point volume. I think as a team, they're shooting right around 25 attempts per game at about 33%. So they're not a high threat from three, although 33% as a team isn't horrible. It's definitely not great. And they're a team that has 65% assisted field goals as well. So, They're really patient. I think this is going to be interesting versus the style that we have, which is kind of similar, right?
Right.
So I think what we're going to do is which team can take the other team out of its game
Mhm.
more, because I think West Virginia is going to look to speed them up,
Mhm.
and they're probably going to look to speed us up. Who can speed the other team up and force them out of that pace that they like to run in?
Yep. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. And yeah, I mean, West Virginia obviously hasn't seen size like that, this season. Even, you mentioned Godfrey. Like, I mean, he's not 6'10",
He's
6'11",
a
he's 6'8",
monster.
and he's a beast. And dare I say, it's an appropriate game to get Chance Moore back. I mean, he's a 6'6" guy that can rebound the basketball. I'm happy
At a
to
high
have him
level,
back.
about 770 game in
Yeah.
St. Bonaventure. He'll
Right.
probably, you'd imagine that drops down 1 or 2 at this level.
Yeah.
But even if he
Still
gets
big.
5 boards a game, that's great.
Still big. I think that's something to watch, monitor too. Just, what's his conditioning going to be like? How many minutes is he going to get? Obviously too, that could play a factor as far as
Has he
what
been
Eagle
able to
staff's doing.
practice, or have they not been able to practice
I think
since?
he's able to practice. Yeah.
If he's able to practice, then he should be in pretty decent
Should be
condition,
all
you
right.
would think.
Should be all right. But yeah, it's a good one to watch, man. I'm excited. I think, it's not, I keep using the word measuring stick, and soon we're going to stop because, like, well, you're going to keep
We
playing,
thought Pitt was
high
going to be
level
that,
teams.
but
Right. I know. But I'm excited. Again, tournament, anytime you get a chance to do that is good. You want to move on to the last game on Friday?
I wanted to kind of pick a winner there if you
All
want
right,
to.
let's
We
do
can
it.
right after the break, though. All right, back. Really quick before we move on to the other games, real quick. I got a couple other little points on this game, and then I'm done. If that's all right with you.
Yeah, let's go.
I just a couple things I had for. It's the very last thing I had written down when I did a bit of it. I just spent like an hour on this game earlier today or something, just looking over some things. But obviously we talked about Clemson hates fast,
Mhm.
right? That's with Georgetown, they forced 15 turnovers. So I think that's something that you to monitor, because they outplayed Georgetown in almost every other metric.
Right.
We have to win the glass somehow, or at least break even. Limit second chances in this game is going to be a big deal. We have to be really disciplined on help side defense, because if we over rotate on the cuts, they're going to kill us. They're going to
Mhm.
swing open threes or open shots every time. I think we need to attack early and get in transition a little bit in this game, just to kind of mix things up a little bit. And our, I think that Ross Hodge system is set up for early offense. He can do that, or he can be slow. I think he can
Yeah.
do either. Foul management. I think we're probably going to need to do that in this game. The way we play defense, and this is a team that if we get an OBO high in trouble, we could really get crushed on the boards. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I just think that's something to monitor. But I do think West Virginia is the better team. I
Mhm.
really do. I think we're going to show that we're the better team. I actually like West Virginia to win this game by 10 points. I think we'll run away with this or late, where it's like they're trying to foul late. We're up 5 or 6. They're trying to foul late. We end up with like a 10-point win. So run away may not be the right term, but I actually like West Virginia, honestly,
Yeah.
unbiasedly, to win the game, just based off everything I've seen.
Sure. I'm taking the ears too. I just, again, I think Chance Moore is going to play a role in this one some way, somehow, some way. I think he's going to be an X factor, and is going to contribute and fit in seamlessly to this offense and defense. And then I do think the points that you mentioned, right? Because it could be a long night for us if Obioha gets in foul trouble, if Belo gets in foul trouble. And we've seen that this year, actually, where those guys get saddled with a couple fouls early, which would be detrimental. Got a gang rebound. I think, a guy we haven't even said yet, Jasper Floyd. First neutral site game, first game away from the Coliseum. He's going to play a role just as far as leading this offense. And
Absolutely,
getting
keeping
guys in the
everybody
right spot.
calm. Yeah.
That's going to be big. So I'm taking the ears. I'm thinking like 70-33.
70-33 is a great score. I almost said something just now, but
I'm going
to pause this really quick.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know, baby. What a time that was. The only thing Dana Holgerson ever really did that was truly good was win that game. Obviously, I felt like he utilized Tavon and company pretty much to the best that anybody could.
Yep.
Just no defense, right? But let's move on to the other games before we get off on a tangent here.
Before the Clemson fans leave, if they haven't already left.
What do you got on Georgia and Xavier here, man? This is going to be an interesting game. Most people probably have Georgia running away with this one, right?
Yeah, I would. I mean, just based on research and seeing what Georgia looks like so far this season, I'll give you a few things. The one of two teams coming into Charleston with an unblemished record, them and the Mountaineers. Georgia's 5-0. Obviously made the NCAA tournament last season in a loaded SEC. They lost their two leading scorers, one to the NBA with the Hawks, Newell, and then Demery transferred to UConn. They're did a lot in the portal, right? Their biggest impact player out of the portal is Jeremiah Wilkinson, sophomore from California. Similar to Clemson in a lot of ways, just based on how deep they are, how many guys they have scoring. I thought, what stuck out to me first with Clemson was how many guys they have scoring, between 12 and 6. What sticks out to me with this Georgia team is the minutes played. They play a lot of guys. No one on the team. I don't know if I can find this anybody else. You might have to ask ChatGPT this one, but through 5 games, no one on the team is averaging more than 22.8 minutes, and they have 11 guys seeing 12 or more minutes in all 5 games. Think about that.
Wow.
That's deep, and that's a lot of subbing. Like, people were complaining about how much Ross Hodge and West Virginia sub. That is a lot of substitutions. No one more than 22 and a half minutes, and 11 guys with more than 12 plus. That sticks out.
Can I submit one thing to you about that?
Mm-hmm.
So if that could be skewed a little bit because of their dominant blowout wins in every game except for Georgia Tech.
Truth.
So they could be just, getting those young guys extra minutes and not needing to play their starters because they're dominating so much.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be skewed a little.
A tad. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. But it sticks out. They had
no doubt.
Even in that let's see, Georgia Tech game, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, they did it. They had, how's there enough minutes? Did it go overtime? No, it didn't.
11. They had 11 guys play.
They had 11 guys with over 10 minutes. So,
well, I mean, if you think about it, and this may be the new way, if you got 15 roster spots, right?
Yep.
So used to be only 12 or 13 someday. Most people only kept 12, and you get an 8 or 9 man rotation. You got 3 bench players that help in practice, whatever. Now you got 12 guys you can really play and have 3 or help. If you want to give everybody a scholarship, if you can afford it. So think about what you can do. You can have 3 starting 5s. If you can afford it, you could have 3 different starting 5s. Think about all the different combinations. Think about all the different. You could never have to worry about foul trouble. You could be really strategic and send guys and don't worry about them fouling. You can have a guy that's just a hack-a-shack guy, and it wouldn't hurt you at all, except when you got to the bonus.
Yep.
That's like, with my limited brain, that's exactly. We got 15 players now. We're going to use one. You're going to be the hack-a-shack guy, and just
know your role, baby.
Give everybody just one simple role.
Yeah.
You're going to be the free throw shooter guy when we get technicals. That's the only thing I want you for. You're going to be the guy that tips off. That's it. No, you don't play other than tip. Calling timeout as soon as tip's over with.
Well, and it's funny, but like, even in the NBA, you're seeing teams move away from straight up star power to like role players and finding success in doing that. I mean, look at the Denver Nuggets. It's Jokic and a bunch and Murray and a bunch of guys that just play a role and play it really well. You mentioned the Georgia Tech game, and that was their only close game, and that's one to look at, obviously, numbers wise, and a lot of guys playing, and they had 2 guys off the bench, 25 minutes and 24 minutes for Millender and Wilkinson. Millender, the UTSA transfer, Wilkinson coming from California. They scored 92 points, and they shot 6 of 29 from 3, but the game must have lasted 3.5 hours because they had 44 free throw attempts, 44 shots at the line.
Wild.
That is. That is. But a lot of guys contributing for Georgia. They're going to be tough. On the other side, real quick, obviously Xavier in a rebuild. Tons of impact transfers, at least they're hoping so, with Miller departing for Texas. Richard Pitino coming in to Xavier. 3-2 start for them, a pair of 19-point losses to Iowa and Santa Clara. They were picked to finish 8th out of 11 teams in the Big East preseason poll. Again, impact transfers that they're hoping to contribute and improve that spot in the Big East. But Trey Carroll, FAU, Roddy Anderson, Boise State coming. And through 5 games, they're just struggling to make shots. They're shooting 39.5% from the field, which is last among Big East teams.
They've got a sophomore, Jovan Milicic. He had 15 versus Iowa, I want to say it is.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he is interesting. He's an interesting player to watch. And so if you're watching Xavier, check out this youngster, Jovan Milicic. Can really play. He's one of those guys they got from overseas, which you see a lot more of now, obviously. And also Roddy Anderson III, he had 29 points versus Santa Clara. So, I mean, that was an explosive game for him.
Yeah.
So Xavier is going to have talent. It's Xavier. So they're not, let's not get that twisted. I mean, we flipped Jaden Forsyth away from him.
Yep.
But they quickly replaced him with a portal guy or whoever. They're going to be fine.
Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe not this year, but certainly they're going to be okay.
Yep.
Like, they're a good team.
No, I agree. What do you got in this one?
Oh, yeah, Georgia wins the game by 15, 20 points. They'll get to the championship game fairly easily. At least we think. Obviously, the data, it can be skewed right now because of who teams are playing, when, and where. We won't really know until after these METs are over, or MTEs. What's it called again? METs or MTEs?
I don't even know.
Okay. Multi-team events. I think that's what. Yeah, MTE.
There you go.
That's what they call them after MTEs, multi-team events.
I call it an opportunity to win a championship of something. I don't care. You put me in a bracket, dude. It's got a flavor of March.
We'll put you on scholarship.
Come on.
We'll put you on scholarship.
Come on, man. 4 teams. I don't care. Friday to Sunday. And I sure hope the Mountaineers, again, here on College Sports Insiders, we are Mountaineer fans. But I hope Mountaineers are playing for a championship on Sunday. Let's keep this thing rolling.
I'm trying to get me a scholarship. Thank you guys for joining in on this preview edition of the Charleston Classic for Shriners, by the way, if you didn't know, which is a great cause. And hopefully this helps a bunch of kids that need it, because truly that's the most important thing about this event. Don't want to lose that. Although it's just sponsors. I think it either sponsors it. I'm not exactly sure. Excuse me. Do you know if this event helps Shriners or if it's the antithesis that like maybe Shriners sponsors it? I don't know. Curious.
That's a good question. That's a good question. Got to be
probably something we'll have to find. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, But oh well, man, I'm with you. Like if and now here's the thing too. West Virginia fans may overreact a little bit if we win the championship here. I mean, that Georgia team is pretty impressive. If we win that one, or if it's Xavier even, I think we'll have a lot of West Virginia fans wondering, like, can we get to the Big 12s? Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, I know. There's a lot to be identified, a lot to unfold this weekend, and from West Virginia's perspective, but for all 4 of these teams, there's something that you're going to learn about your ball club here within just a few days. So something to find out. And what we do know is someone's going to leave 0-2. We do know that.
Hopefully it's not us. Guys, thank you for joining in with us as we preview the games. Like the video, subscribe to Mountaineer Moment, to College Sports Insiders, to Locked On West Virginia. I know it's a lot of different things. We're almost to 7 over Locked On West Virginia. I think Troy is closing in on 1,000 over on Mountaineer Moment.
Whew, almost.
Ooh, baby.
Cool it down. And then we're closing in on 400, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry.
400, then 500, then 6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah,
then 1,000.
just one subscriber at a time.
That's right, baby.
Just process oriented, just like Belichick, except for YouTube. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining in here with us. Troy, you got anything else for him?
No, let's go. Let's go. It's going to be good.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. We are out of here.